Today on Twan, the used car Don, I'll be teaching you guys how to replace the rear brakes on a 2022 and up Toyota Tundra. Here's the tools we'll be using. And I know you're saying, well, isn't the rear brakes like the front brakes and all the other brakes that you ever did? Pretty much so, but it's a little different. And actually, the brakes for the Tundras are actually on back order now because they're known for making a loud squeaking noise. So Toyota has a service bulletin for these brakes so you can get new brakes, but they're on back order. But here it's the same. You got the 14 millimeter you got to take out, and then you have the 17 millimeter you take out. And when you take them out, you take top and bottom bolts out. And right here, I'm using that impact ratchet. To me, is the best way. But at first, I break them loose actually with a long wrench for torquing. And when you slide the brakes off, like I said here on 20 used car Dons, we always replace brakes that need to be replaced. And then you come along and you take that 12 millimeter and you go inside the rotor and you drill it in until it pops off like so. I like to flex on y'all to show y'all, but these rotors are actually kind of heavy. So I'm straining real bad when I'm doing this. And here we go again. We're going to take it over to the brake turning machine. Like I mentioned before, several places just actually replace rotors. They don't cut rotors. But we, at this particular dealership, we actually still service the rotors and we cut the rotors. And I'm going to give y'all a quick little class. Now, when you are replacing or cutting the rotors, you want to make sure that cone fits flush. It doesn't quite fall through. It actually catches right at the end. See? Thumbs up. Yeah. And here we go to the rotor machine and we take that same cone, slap it on, and it's a spring in the middle. Make sure that spring is in the center of the cone, like so. And here we go, sliding the rotor on, one-handed. You have to do this one-handed too. Pinch it, like so. No, just joking. And then you take the outside cone. This actually are dampers. See, the rubber thing is for vibration. The rubber actually holds the vibration down. And you take the other pretty much little sleeves to slap on to make sure that that's good and tight. Meanwhile, I actually pinch my finger right here. You see that? I pinch my finger using that. So be careful. And you take the tie it on and you tighten it, loosen it, the same direction that you would actually loosen it. You know, some people still have a hard time getting used to that, and you give it a bump, and there you go. So we're going back over here to the brakes. And like all brakes, we secure it and we come back. You can see the freshly cut rotor right here. And we come back and we put the bracket on. Who's that guy? Yeah, here's my first full view. That is Twan, the used car Don. It looks like he's struggling right now, but he's not. He's not. I'm trying. I got it. See, I see you. You see me, I see you. But like you said, we're putting the brake bracket on and we're getting it hand tight first. Always hand tight it before you actually see, giving you a better look at what I'm actually doing. Hand tightening the top and we're hand tightening the bottom. I got a funny story about brakes. I'll tell you later. And we come back along with that 17 millimeter ratchet and we zip it on and we zip the other bolt on and we come behind it to make sure it's kind of torqued with our long wrench, our 17. This is very important, guys. Very important. Because brakes, you don't want a car to come back to the shop because the brakes were loose and the line was cut. That's very bad. Anyways, here we go. Here's the comparison of the new brakes and the old brakes. Here we go, the shim. Like remember, we take the shim off of the old brakes. Very important with Toyota brakes because Toyota shims are pretty thick. And that shim, without these shims, your brakes are going to squeal like a howling wolf. It's a howling wolf? Yeah, howling wolf. And here we go, just demonstrating. I think actually these shims are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter if you put the one that was on the inside of the caliper, the outside of the caliper, or the one that was actually facing the pistons because they are the same on both sides. There you go, making sure that's secure and that's pretty good. These brakes, this is a 2022 Tacoma, so the brakes, the shims are not really dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my infamous brake quiet on it. And you just make sure that it's saturated and it's good, good coat on it, like so. And here's the difference. And this is actually new for Toyota. Most pistons, you actually just get the other two, the piston tool, and it just pushes it in. But this one is actually different. You actually have to twist it in to compress those pistons in, like so. And I guess you're wondering, why do we have to do it like this, Don, the used car, Twan, the used car, Don? You have to do it like this because the electric brake on the rear is actually inside of the caliper right here. A lot of times in most other Toyotas, when you take the brake off, the rear rotor off, you actually see the shoes for the emergency brake under the rotor. But this is not. So the emergency brake is actually inside the caliper and it is right there. That is the electric emergency brake. And it actually uses the same brake pads for regular braking as electric braking. That's why it's different on this one. And there you go. We got it all twisted in. And it's tedious. They make certain tools, they make a pneumatic tool that you just like pretty much put air on it and it just screws it down rapidly. And there we go. And we put the screws in and there you have it. Please make sure you like and subscribe to Twan the Used Car Don.